Trainer activated. 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 Activated.
Gamut is dead.
Yes, he is.
Well, now I am surprised. Wouldn't have thought it'd leave you looking like a Prios novice cheated at a shell game.
Me neither.
And I have another surprise.
I hope it's better than the last one.
Attractive. Young.
Undead.
You?
Exactly. I haven't been cast down into the nether hells, even though Gamut is dead. Isn't that great?
And what about your Rio?
Oh, Rio. My Rio. Do you think he will love me as undead?
If you two are serious about it, he'll have to love you the way you are now. And I'm sure Rio would like to at least sing about you a little. On a harp strung with spider silk.
How romantic.
I'm gonna head for Fernfield now.
I hope you make the right decisions.
I wish the same, pretty Latika.
Perhaps
We will see each other again.
Perhaps.
You're back!
I am.
From the pit!
Yes.
Like Gamut! And you're wearing his talisman! You're the new savior!
Rio, I'm not the savior.
Only the true savior denies his divinity.
What?
You have revealed yourself just in time, savior! Gamut's flight confused people. Genla has captured Ulev and preaches of the old gods. She wants to destroy our faith, savior.
I don't have time for this orc shit right now. Take me to Genla, quick.
As you wish, savior.
Long enough have you lived in sin, but now the wind has turned. A storm has blown the seeds of faith to Fernfield.
Genla! What are you doing?
The people of Fernfield pass judgment on those who deceive them. Long enough has heresy prevailed in this place. Gamut was a fraud, and Ulef his lackey. Gamut's flight proved it, and Ulef too will soon confess his misdeeds. Chiron, you have returned. Gamut is defeated. You wear his talisman. Which side are you on?
Gamut deceived you all. He was nothing but a necromancer who drew his power from this talisman. He used it to relieve your pain, but also to fuddle your senses. The paradise to which your dead were to go was a lie. Gamut used their undead bodies, making them dig for magical treasures beyond the Great Gorge. They were not buried according to the divine commandments. This enabled the demonic forces of the swamp to take possession of their bodies. No one knows what became of the souls of your chosen. The root of the problem was this talisman. It seduced Gamut and Ulef to their misdeeds. In your names, will I take this instrument of the Nether Hells far, far away, where it can cause no further damage.
Well spoken, Chiron. And now, in the name of the goddess, it is time those who serve the blasphemer were judged. Ulef, liar, coward, and servant of demons! With your words and deeds you have condemned dozens of souls to damnation! We can no longer tolerate you among us!
But consider this, Genla. The soul of Ulef's daughter Latika was in Gamut's power. Ulef lied to you to protect his own child.
A blasphemous trade! And the punishment for blasphemy is death!
Do you really wish to condemn him for giving people hope? Haven't enough people died already? Gamat inflicted a wound upon the village. You are here to heal, not to take lives. The goddess Parain does not teach revenge. She teaches compassion.
Chiron speaks with Phaxon's tongue. Even if you are right, the villain must be punished. I hereby banish Ulef, and all those who wish to continue following him are to leave the village as well. Never come back, that we may finally find peace again.
I follow the holy man. He never lets us down.
Chiron's intercession saved Ulef's life. Although he had lied to the Fernfielders for years, they recognized his good intentions, and so let him go in peace. Then they went to the place Gamat had described to them as paradise. With hoes and scythes, they delivered their friends and relatives from their miserable undead existences. For many of the ailing, this was the last thing they did. But at every funeral mass Gainler read after that, the Fernfielders knew their souls were saved. Once again, they could distinguish between good and evil. However, the ancient Alhania secret that could have healed the plague remained submerged in the Clawmaw. Chiron moved on. He had to know how and why Azaril had blessed him with the magical powers, thereby making him Calandra's mortal enemy, and Warunk would hold his answers.
New city.
Hard to believe that that was enchanted. It was such a handsome fellow.
Oh, Perel. Everything all right?
Nothing is all right. Nothing. Fergalosh has declared war on us. Not only the cartel, the entire neighborhood.
You two have been enemies for as long as I've known you, Perel.
My dear friend, this time it's different. Ever since your truce, Fergalosh has lost all sense of decency. At first, I thought he just wanted to settle a few old scores. There were a few still open. He doesn't imprison simple smugglers and pickpockets anymore. He just has them executed. He breaks women's legs. He cuts off children's hands. I ask you, my friend, can there be any other reason for that kind of bloodbath than pure cruelty?
Perel, what do you want from me?
To warn you. Sooner or later, that little dirt sucker will approach you and tell you all these atrocities were necessary. Don't believe it. Not a single word of it. And be on the lookout for his people. Wouldn't be surprised if their next ambush is only 2 blocks away.
Right, Perel. I'll be careful.
There are too many guards who consider themselves to be judge, jury, and executioner.
He's still young and has strong arms. In the Middle Lands, he would still have a life ahead of him.
Ah, Chiron.
Reverend Margrave.
Glad you're conscious this time. Thank you again for your dedication to the good of the city.
What have you discovered?
This Gamut was a demon Pactier. He had established a blasphemous cult and driven out the village of Fernfield's Deont. I smashed the cult, and the Deont is once again conducting services.
Well done! It is the soul which matters, especially in these dark times. Take this reward. May Rondra be with you. And be more careful in future. Evil often comes unexpectedly in the Shadowlands. My people can't be everywhere.
Especially since your people should be primarily concerned with the enemy beyond the walls, Metropolitan.
All the better that there are no disagreements as to who will execute the summoner my people caught.
To my knowledge, that was a certain traitor, one whose demise left a vacancy not only as your deputy, but also in the office of Plague Bailiff.
Where is this execution going to be held?
Marketplace, second hour.
And of course you too are welcome to be there when the villain gets his just desserts. Until then, farewell.
His hanging corpse will serve as a warning to those who still pact with demons.
Fine. See you at the execution.
And greet your father for me. I'm sure he's expecting you. You'll find him in the old pillory.
When will the summoner be executed again?
Marketplace, second hour.
Fine. See you at the execution.
And greet...
Here, Warunkians! The Metropolitan has decreed
those bastards
that from
took
this
everything
day
from the
forth,
army they could get their grubby
whosoever
fingers on.
makes
And you once said he
unfair
didn't give you any
speeches
of it,
shall
you
be
know,
punished
starved
with
losses.
12 strokes on the cane. If they do so... 12 strokes of the whip.
Dashing. Those
However,
Rondrians.
those found
Finally
to be
someone's
obstinate
cracking
and
down around.
incorrigible.
You're back. You defeated Gamat.
It was his destiny, he claimed. The power of his gift has been transferred to me, just like Falk's. But I have even more to tell you, about undead slaves and false saints.
And then there were 5. It's terrible to learn how your own children butcher one another. And now the next awakened is already on your trail. She says she will find you, and she gave me this.
An awakened was here? She spoke with you?
I don't know if she wants us as allies, or only as tools for her own plan. These are instructions on summoning. She said it can call up the demon that created your gifts. But the document is complicated. Nandurian figures, encrypted 3 times. I'll need some time to make sense of it.
Why should she play into our hands when she has everything and we have nothing?
She says that she can free you from the forced killings. I'm afraid we have to play along for now.
Only until she shows herself to me. Then she will answer me. I've never summoned a demon. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know how.
A summoning isn't something you just jump right into. The preparations require time. As far as I can make from the document, 3 paraphernalia are needed to perform the invocation.
Paraphernalia?
Offerings to the demon. They make it easier to call and dominate. Summoning ingredients, if you like. It says, "First take unto thee 3 stones of the 3 great powers. From the manor rob then 3, of the world, of magic, and of divinity. Burn now the 3 in demonic scorching flame of the nether hells."
Where am I supposed to get stones like that?
Summoning instructions are basically a matter of interpretation. You'll probably have to improvise. It's best you find this awakened and ask her. Then you can still decide if you want to perform the invocation.
If she isn't luring me into a trap to kill me.
Either way, you can't really lose.
People of Warrank, here you see the villain responsible for the attack on our city and our faith. The executioner's sword he defiled is too good for him. A vile rope should suffice to send his dark soul where it belongs, the nether hells. Know this, Warrankians. So end those who dare rebel against the 12 gods. Take heed those who have used recent events to satisfy their greed. They are wrong, and I will call them to account. So, Rogue, any last words?
You will pay. You will all pay.
Fire! Fire at the old Rondra temple!
Skelina! Mactala with Harika! Your pardon, sir, but have you seen my girls? We had agreed to meet, but they haven't shown up. That's not like them at all. Oh, it's you.
Right.
It's your fault my brother died in Moloch Mountain. The least you could do now is help me. If I lose the girls too, I'll have no one. Please, find my daughters. I can reward you.
I noticed the summoner stared at a child from the scaffold. Could your daughters have been at the execution? Or at least one of them?
The execution? Possibly. They were always wherever there was something to see. Especially Mactala loved that kind of thing. Even egged the others into proving their courage at the prison, even though I always forbade it.
Tests of courage near the cells of robbers, murderers, and defilers. I bet the summoner really impressed them, didn't he?
By the Dark Mother, they spoke of him. Please, you have to find them. They're triplets, barely 10 years old. They all have my hair, and they're all wearing green dresses. The prison is in the guard headquarters, but they could be anywhere. Maybe even in the upper town.
I'll have a look around.
Here are the dead, risen
You
to
want
eat
to
the flesh
prove
of the
yourself
living.
useful? Good. Whatever you do, do it with honor.
A good day. At least, no demons so far, anyway.
People of Warunk, fear the demons. Renounce their temptations and defy their servants. True salvation comes solely from thundering Rondra and her 11 divine siblings. They, and they alone, lifted the heavy yoke of the necromancers from your shoulders.